Most businesses are boring. Most entire business categories are boring. Is your company boring? There are ways that you can make your company less boring, and I'm going to tell you about that today. This video is to help you be less boring by using the power of differentiation. Differentiation done well is a pattern interrupt. Much like the pause that I just put in that sentence, it causes people to stop and to hear emphasis on key points. And you can do the same thing throughout how you're communicating your business. Liquid Death has really mastered this. They understood that the entire category of water is boring and that it's ripe for disruption through differentiation, through branding, through weird visuals, through weird concepts, that sort of thing. So what did they do? Every water out there on the market basically was bottled. So they made cans of water, and every water out there was like blue or white labels and just boring labels and pictures of springs and mountains and natural stuff. And so they just put skulls and death metaphors on everything. One of my favorite stunts that they've pulled is they even have these amazing death metal albums on Spotify. You should give them a listen if your ears don't bleed. They set out to make water cool, and if they can do it, so can you. Think about it. They set out to make water cool just through being weird and not being afraid of putting skulls and funny names on things. The results speak for themselves. In less than 5 years of operations, they grew to over $100 million in revenue, which gave them enough growth to expand their product line. They're doing seltzers, they're doing iced teas, they're doing all sorts, and they've really just stood out in the market in a really fast way, again, because of differentiation. Today I'm going to talk about 3 areas you can use the power of differentiation. First up, taglines. I think people think that the point of a tagline is to be really catchy, right? Maybe she's born with it, or the quicker picker-upper. I personally have an admiration for taglines that are making their position clear, making the difference of the company clear. I think one of the better well-known ones for me is Think Outside the Bun by Taco Bell.
Think outside the bun.
In one statement, they are making it clear, we are not like everybody else. And they're even working in some wordplay about their product, right? It's not a bun. It's much better than that. It's really brilliant when you actually break it down. And it's so easy to just kind of skim past it because you're used to hearing it so much. But it's brilliant marketing baked down into one sentence. To hark on another example, this one's really specific. In the clinical trial software category, there's a company called Slope. They make clinical trial software that makes it easier to manage clinical trials. And their tagline is brilliant. It's, "We make clinical trials boring." And if you know anything about trying to sell, you typically don't want to make your software or your product sound boring. So it creates such a dissonance, such a pattern interrupt, and it's effective. But you get it, right? Just by having their software, it makes things less chaotic, more manageable, and that actually speaks volumes to their value prop in just a few words. Area number 2, you can use differentiation, is entire campaigns. And I think one of the all-time greats in just weird, successful marketing campaigns is Old Spice. They have embedded their weirdness into everyday life, into bathroom products so well. Again, it's easy to kind of gloss over it. You're like, oh yeah, of course, it's just Old Spice. But no, think about it. They sell soap. They sell soap. And they found a way to become almost like this pop culture brand that everybody's aware of. Consider this. Consider back in the day, you're on a marketing team that sells men's soap. And you have to come up with ideas to market men's soap. What are some of the ideas that you might come up with? Now consider the person who is like, wait, I have an idea. So it starts with a shirtless, muscular guy in a bathroom, and he's actually talking to a female audience, not to the male audience that our product's for. And then he's on a boat, and then he holds up an oyster, and it turns into diamonds, and then he's on a horse.
I'm on a horse.
Like, what? But it works. It sticks with you. It's compelling. There's something viral about it. And again, it's that power of differentiation in action. You see in the picture? Third area I want to talk about that I don't think gets enough attention at all throughout the go-to-market process is intro calls. If you're in sales, you're probably well aware of pattern interrupts. And if you're not, that's fine. Your boring sales calls are probably doing just great and you don't need to change anything. If you're a marketer and you work on sales enablement at all, think about how you can help differentiate intro calls for your salespeople. Part of the problem is that basically all sales calls within the B2B space in particular, they kind of come off the same exact way. A lot of the salespeople, they come off the same exact way. They've all been through similar trainings. They're all selling this widget for that type of business persona. So that is an area that is absolutely ripe for disruption. It's not very often you probably get on a sales call to buy a product for your business and you think like, whoa, that sales call was not like other sales calls I've been on. That's an opportunity for you. Just think about the sales enablement materials around your sales intro calls. How can you use video, presentations, and collateral that don't look like everybody else, that lend themselves to storytelling, client success stories that don't just sound like boring case studies? What are the weird things that have taken place around your business that in some way also highlight your best features or value props? That's it for now. To recap, how to go hard on differentiation in 3 areas. 1, taglines. 2, entire campaigns. 3, how you're positioning your sales intro calls with materials for the prep, during, and follow-up. That's it for today. If you have great, weird marketing campaigns that you know of, that you enjoy, send them my way. I love taking a look at those. You yourself, don't forget to keep it weird. See you later.